I wasn't gonna do a segment on this, but I'm gonna turn it into a segment because watching not just Take Two Interactive, but a lot of what the E3 bullcrap, what we saw was, and again, that's everybody, not everybody. You get what I'm saying. A lot of prioritizing everything but the actual product. Right, E3 is supposed to be about video games. So you think that this would be something that is going to get people stoked on whatever that product is. It doesn't matter what year it is, whether it be for a console, whether it be for a particular game, whatever it is. But you see a lot, like you saw with the Take-Two bullcrap, and that's spending hours talking about everything that has nothing to do with the product, or rather the merit of it, because you're focusing on diversity and other bullcrap. So imagine where we're at right now culturally, where people think that they're selling products, and again, they're trying to appeal to a bunch of flaky weirdos that are on social media all day. Those are the types that they're trying to appeal to, the guys who foam at the mouth as social justice types. But again, imagine it. Take a step back, guys. I know it seems trivial now because we're so used to it. Definitely over the past year, we've seen just signaling galore, all these mega corporate entities signaling left to the fucking right. But think about that. You're trying to sell a video game. And what do you do to try to sell me on the video game? This is what you do. Or the video games and things that you're producing. You highlight some sort of makeup of the people that are, I don't know, a part of the creation. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. That's not going to sell your product. In fact, you're guaranteeing me your product is not going to be as good as what it possibly could be, because whether it be with your hiring practices, whether you be people that filling in these roles, you're telling me that you put them there because of whatever particular makeup. And again, that has nothing to do with providing a service, right? The job at hand, right? To make a good video game. The makeup of the people that do it means absolutely nothing to me. And maybe it means something to, again, those few weirdos, not few, it's a bunch of them actually, that are on social media. They're albeit flaky, but just actual gamers, like people that play games, have been playing games. Yeah, some of you guys are of the social justice ilk. We've talked about this before. If you look at, for example, the content creation space, whether it be in streaming or anything, it's heavily dominated by leftists, which I think is why the industry is gearing towards the way that it certainly does, because they're listening to those guys. And I'm not even really sure that. But I almost said something. I'm gonna leave that maybe for another segment off. That won't be for YouTube. Nonetheless, what we have is a situation where they're utilizing diversity bullshit, social justice bullshit to try to sell a product. That's where we're at. That's where we're at, guys. That's exactly the point in history where we're at, where you're trying to sell me the product by signaling. See, and this is why we've seen this in comic books. We've seen this in film and Hollywood, for example. A lot of people trying to do things for the sake of their peers and trying to impress their peers. It's not about the customers anymore, guys. It's not about the customers. You're an afterthought. Obviously, they have to make some sort of money. So obviously, they're going to sell a product. This is, I think, why a lot of times you think about the dominating brands right now. A lot of them that do this social justice bullcrap are tied to brands that have existed long before this social justice bullshit, because really that's the only way that they can present it. Right? If it's a completely new product of signaling, it gets laughed at, and it'd be lucky if it makes the shelf anyway. But generally, it needs to be tied to something that people are already familiar with anyway. But the customer right now is the afterthought for a lot of this. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll impress my peers. Yeah, we may sell a couple of copies of this game, but it's about impressing our peers and each other, and signaling about how good it is that we are, because we put people in roles based upon how they looked or what sexuality or some dumb shit that they were that has absolutely nothing to do with any of that. I've said this many times. it's an overstated thing, diversity in itself. It's a occurrence that just happens or does not happen. It's a side effect. It is not anything to brag about. This our strength is just nonsense, because mainly, definitely when it comes to something like this, where you think you need more intellectual capacity and something like this in creation of gaming, you have to be some sort of technologically savvy. So it's about what's up here. The diversity almost is never there. We talked about this before with the Hogwarts thing and the guy that was one of the lead designers who ended up having to resign, meaning that he basically got get the hell out because he was Kotaku, of course, one of those idiots. Kotaku, they're all the same. Kotaku, what's the other one? Not the IGNs of the world, though you can throw them in there as well. But, you know, the Kotakus, the real uber social justice leftist platform, gaming like mediums, if you will. They put out a story like digging. Imagine taking all that time to try to dig for the lead design. These motherfuckers, this is what they had to have done it. Either someone tipped them off, like someone that worked for the company tipped them off, and they wanted to out this guy, or more so what probably happened, which is very likely, is these weirdos go look at stuff. Polygon, that's what it is. Yeah. These weirdos go look for stuff to get mad at. So I would not be surprised if these weirdos went and looked at who was part of this project and then started to go down the rabbit hole of trying to find out their past. And oh my God, the lead designer watched anti-social justice videos. Oh, got my pearls that someone sent me in the mail. Oh. Faint couch. So the guy has to. It's because, again, these are things that merit is like it's the last thing. It's not the thing that people focus on anymore. It's let's check a box. Let's check a few boxes first. Let's check some boxes. And if we can make a decent product out of that, then okay. But let's check the boxes first. I'm seeing fucking people focus so much on this lousy bull crap about gender, sexuality, and race, and all sorts of nonsense that has nothing to do with whether or not your product is going to be worth a damn. And it's a sad state of affairs to see what is supposed to be this. And yeah, you got some games. Obviously, you got some games that people are excited about, including me. But you get what I'm saying. When you have certain guys spending a big chunk. We saw that, for example, with DC Fandom. A big chunk of what it is that they're when it's time to promote your product, a big chunk of time you're going to allot to a bunch of bullshit that has nothing to do with whether or not your product is worth of them. It's a sad state of affairs, guys. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.